You have no idea how to remove the saddle or the seat on a GS450A Suzukimatic, this is what you do. What you do is, there may be a bolt fitted here, which there isn't in my case, but you just basically pull the seat up there and there so that it's free from between this bracket on both sides. Put your finger under here, find the little trigger, pull it back, seat lifts up, back round to the other side, same thing around here. Yeah, see it there? That releases it. And then basically just pull the seat back and the saddle comes off. Like so. What I'm actually doing is, I had a couple of screws missing from my carbs after my carb rebuild, and I finally found them. So in another video I was talking about how to get the carbs out and getting space for the rubbers. You'll see here, here's the air box. Well, there's enough space once you undo the bolt here, and then obviously I can't remember exactly how it worked inside here, but you undo that and then that allows you to slide this back a bit to get a bit of space. So next thing is to remove the tank. The tank, we have a trusty socket set, 10mm socket, and then there's two 10mm bolts here. On the GS450A, on the fuel tap or petcock, there isn't actually an off position. So it's got reserve PRI, which might be prime, I'm not sure, and then on, which is the position it's in right now. So I'm going to have to consult the manual to see if there is actually an off one, or if it's simply vacuum operated. But I'll soon find out when I pull the hose off. As you can see, I haven't got one of the screws in here. The reason for that is because I put the other two bolts, which are for the bracket. These are the two bolts there. I put them away safely and didn't find them. So now I'm going to have to reinstall them. Disconnected both hoses. You can see there. So here's the main fuel to the carb hose, and I believe this must be a vacuum hose here. So you can see it's still turned on. Both hoses are disconnected, so it must be a vacuum. I put this in here just to prop the tank up so I can actually get my fingers in, and it seems to do the job okay. That's the Walmart oil. So that's it. Okay. Well, with the tank and that removed, here's the other one of the bolts for the airbox here, and there's the other one there. There's also for the fuel gauge, there's two electrical connectors that should be disconnected. I've just realized that what I thought were the missing screws, these two here, they're not at all. So it was actually the case that two of the carb top screws were missing. I thought actually these ones should have gone here for the bracket, but it's not the case. So bit of a wasted effort. I'll just need to get some screws for the edge somewhere else. See if I can find a bike at a local scrapyard and get two screws. But as I say, it's working fine. You can see I need to clean off some of this stuff with a rag. I've never done any cleaning underneath the tank so far, but as you can see, it's all quite clean underneath the dust. See the difference? That's what happens when it sits in somebody's barn for a while. I need to get some silicone spray or something on it, get it shined up. Just noticed that you do need the bolts there. So somebody must have taken these off at some point, because if you don't, you see the mudguard will actually go down. So that needs to get put. I need to get a couple of bolts for that. I'm not exactly sure what the bolts are, but I'm pretty sure any old nut and bolt washer will do. So I've refitted the tank. Let's see how she goes. I find it a little bit, it's not that keen on starting from cold, this bike. You need a lot of choke. But anyway, I'll put the choke full on. And here we go. So that's it running. Ticks over quite nicely. I filled up the tank yesterday. Invested a whole $4. So down a bit. Yeah, it certainly runs very nicely. Ticks over very well. There's no leaks or anything. I'll just need to find out if I can get a couple of bolts for the rear mudguard or the rear fender. And obviously another couple of carb screws, because as much as it's working okay, we should have a carb screw there and on the other side.